Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play a Perfect Final Fantasy VII. So where we left off, we snuck onto the boat and we're heading to the new continent. What we're going to do here first is just make a couple configuration changes. Let's go ahead and equip Cloud with his new Force Stealer like I did. And then I just went ahead and removed everybody's materia. We'll come back to that in a minute. So go ahead and pick up this Ether. And then, so our crew is actually disguised as well. This character here is actually Yuffie, and she's kind of seasick. So when we talk to Yuffie, we have a couple dialogue options. So you can give her tranquilizers or not, and if you do, it's going to give Yuffie a +4, and if you say no, it's going to give Yuffie a -2. You can also see that there is an all materia hidden behind her, but we can't actually get to it at the moment, so we'll have to come back to that. This character here is Eris. And Eris is going to ask us about that airship that we saw. We can say, I'll take you someday, and that's going to give her a +2. Or we can say, I do know, and that's going to give her a -2. And then now we need to head up to the upper deck area and talk to the rest of the cast. So up here is going to be Tifa, and we get another dialogue choice. So with Tifa here, she talks about all the stuff she dislikes, and if we say yeah, we get a +2, and if we say I don't know, we get a -2. So after talking to Tifa, I'll show you here. Well, first of all, this Shinra employee here is very important. You can give him 250 gil, and he can fully restore the HP and MP of your party, which we're going to find very useful for the next very grindy thing that we do. So you can see here that this soldier is blocking our path from moving to the next area. So we'll have to get him out of our way, but before we do that, let's come talk to this guy, Red 13, who is doing a great impression of a human. You can see his tail and everything. So in order to progress, you'll actually need to come back down to the first floor and talk to Eris a second time. And then she'll ask about Barrett, and we can go check on Barrett. So now that soldier is going to be out of our way, we can go check on Barrett. And he's sure is blending in with his sailor outfit. So apparently a stowaway got caught somewhere, and we better go check on our crew and make sure it's none of them. And so everybody's here, so could that stowaway be Sephiroth? Interesting. So at this point, you have the option of who you want to take with you. There are a few dialogue options that are going to change depending on who you take with you, but nothing that actually impacts the game. So if you are super interested in that, make sure you look it up. But I myself just fancy taking at least 3 of my most highest leveled characters for the stealing success rate to go up a little bit, because we're going to be stealing a lot over the next little bit. So this is my party choice, and then we'll go ahead and get them all set up. So we'll make sure that Red's got his double growth item, and everybody's got a carbon bangle, and we can give them some accessories. Basically, we're going to do a very specific build path here. I'm going to have Cloud be my designated enemy skill character, so we want to make sure that he can't ever fall asleep. So we'll give him the headband, and this way he can always get out that enemy skill ability right away. Red is going to be my designated attacker, so we're going to give him silver glasses so he can't have darkness, and then we'll give Tifa just some extra toughness. And we'll go over this a little bit further as well, but here we're going to give Cloud the enemy skill materia, because we want him to be able to use level 4 suicide as the main use here. We're going to want to make sure that everybody has a steal materia as well. And we're going to give Red the Restore All combination. He's going to be our designated healer. So at this point, we have two characters with double growth materia, so we want to give them as much of the materia that's important to us as possible to level them up and take time, use this efficiency that we have in the double growth as almost like 6 slots, right? So each one of the characters having a steal is really important, and that's why we bought those earlier. And then we'll give him some of the more harder to level up purple materias so that we can kind of get AP into those now while we can. I'm going to give the cover to red so that all this stuff helps him with his limit break building. He'll have cover so he can use his limits. He'll have and he'll be the attacker so that he's knocking people out so that we get extra KOs on him as well this way. Other than that, we're really just going to fill up the materia slots with the materia that we want to get AP. So just picking the ones that mean the most to me right now. Picking like some of the ones that need to get leveled up to like level 2. Elemental's a good one to level up. There we go. We can't equip them all, so that's okay though. And then, so now we'll head down and I'll show you guys a couple things. The very first thing is in this room now we can encounter random encounters. There's 2 different battles we can get into. One of them is very similar to the mono drives that we fought when we were trying to get the iron bangles. They're like little robotic dudes. They can drop ethers rarely. You can steal ethers and they're weak to wind, although they'll hit your party with pretty heavy magic hits, so I typically just run away from them. But do make sure that you come over here and pick up the all materia that was hidden behind Yuffie earlier. And then we're going to head into this room here. Now the battle that we are looking for is the marine soldiers, so we'll go over that shortly. But in here is a wind/equipment item for Yuffie, which is her double growth weapon, which is great. And then now we'll show you guys kind of the setup for the soldiers. So the very first thing that we want to do is have Cloud use level 4 suicide. And because of the level of these enemies, this will always reduce them to mini, and it will always do 99% of their HP. So they're basically sitting now at 1 HP, basically 1 HP, and we're just going to sit here and continuously steal from them until we get the Shinra Beta item. They can also drop eye drops, but because we'll be stealing from them, we shouldn't be getting too many of those. Once we get that Shinra Beta, we'll have our designated attacker, red in this case, just take out the enemies. And you can see they have that grenade move, which is like a horribly long attack animation. Drives me nuts. But we'll continue to steal till they're out of items, knock them out, move on. And you can see this would take so much longer with just 1 steal materia than it does with 3. And so now that we have the 3 Shinra Betas, let's go ahead and equip them on our party. The Shinra Beta item, it gives you higher defense, but it gives you 0 magic resistance. So it's better in this scenario because we're just fighting against the Marines and that's all we care about. And it also gives you an extra materia slot, which is great, so we can give just 3 more materia in total, some AP while we're doing this. So then now that we did that, we'll go ahead and just throw 3 more materia in there to get some love. And so I like to run around across this kind of like balcony-esque area to do my random encounters. But we're going to be doing this, like I said, for quite a while. The whole point here is to steal 99 of these from these enemies, as this is the only point in the game that we can get them. If you're not going for everything, just get like 6 or 7. Otherwise, I'll see you guys as soon as I have 99 of these bad boys. Okay, So we're back, guys. We have successfully gotten 99 Shinra Beta. I want to show you, we kind of set our party up for the boss battle. So we gave everybody their carbon bangles back because this boss does mixed damage. And so we've got our party set up. This boss doesn't really have any kind of weaknesses or anything, so we're just going to have Red be our like beta caster. Tifa's like casting summons and has cure magic, and then Cloud's just like a really hard-hitting physical attacker. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. But then we can give them some items to help accelerate that. We'll give Cloud the power wrists, and then we'll give these guys whatever else. Some of our other accessories are being held by the other party members at the moment. And you can see here that we have Cloud's level 3 limit ready to go, and Red killed enough enemies to get his level 2 ready, but we need to use his level 1 a little bit more. And of course we got a lot of money from doing what we were doing, so make sure we put the field message speed back up. And I already paid this guy 250 gil to fully heal us. And there's our 99 Shinra Betas, just to show you guys our work. And then now let's go ahead and head back into that same room that we were farming in. And we'll talk to the soldier below the balcony area. So Sephiroth leaves behind the arm of Genova, and we have our first Genova battle. So here, like I said, we're just going to dish out some hard-hitting moves, and we get kind of unlucky here as Genova hit Red 13, our hardest damage dealer, with Stop. So he's actually stuck in place for a little while. I don't find this boss to be too difficult. She can use a few like big AoE tail laser attacks multiple times in a row, which can kind of very quickly chunk your team out. But I don't think it's that difficult, especially at this point if you've already like taken the time to get things like beta and stuff. But she does hit kind of hard with some of these moves. So yeah, so you can see those big beta casts, and yeah, here's tail laser. And yeah, see, she'll use it multiple times in a row, which Cloud's, you know, kind of low at this point. But we got limit breaks and stuff. I think this beta cast should do it. Yeah, there we go. And Cloud learned Climb Hazard, which is awesome. And we got a white cape, which is another accessory. So that was the arm of Genova. So before you leave this room, just make sure that you pick up that red materia there. As we're looking at the Ifrit materia. Pretty easy to just walk away from it and never get it again. And then now that we've taken out Genova, we can go ahead and just run out of this room. because Cloud got his climb hazard, we'll go ahead and equip his level 3. And so now our boat is arriving at its destination, showing up at the beach here. So this is, again, is going to be Costa del Sol. There is really not too much going on here that we have to do. A lot of this is just optional dialogue stuff. And again, like I said, on the boat, who you picked for your party is going to determine who's around town that you can talk to and who you can have little dialogue options with. But it doesn't impact anything. So there's no big deal. It's I guess kind of just like if you wanted to see, like I know if you have Tifa with you, there's some really funny stuff. You can, the dialogue wasn't translated very well, and so there's some really confusing dialogue between her and this other guy if you go into the like hotel and talk to them, or the inn. Again, these dialogue choices, they don't make any kind of difference. The helicopter blade looks real funny in 3 times speed. So Heidegger's pissed and he's just chasing everybody off. So now that we're here, we're going to head into this very first building, the top of the stairs. And we're going to head into the very back of this building and downstairs. And there's going to be 3 items for us to pick up. A fire ring, which is a great accessory. There's going to be a motor drive, which is an equipment here for Tifa, a better fist weapon. It's her double growth actually as well, which is cool. And then finally, a power source as well. Now, if you have 300,000 gil, you can come talk to this gentleman here and purchase this villa. It just acts as like a save point later, but we don't really need it, and we can do that later. We don't have that kind of money yet either, but go ahead and head into the bar here, and there's a gentleman in the lower left-hand side here that sells some accessories. First, he sells this platinum bangle, which is one of, if not the only, double growth accessory in the game. So I always like to pick up 3 of these here. Although obviously it's not too great in terms of defense. And then if you didn't get the coupon from the Shinra building, this is our chance to pick up a 4 slots equipment too. So I always usually pick up 1 to fill the gap. And if you really cared, I guess you could buy Molotovs, although they're not too useful, so no big deal there. And so, again, you can run around town and kind of get some little dialogue interactions. I like to come over to this item shop because this guy sells softs. And the next section of the game that we're going to be in, there is a good chance that our party gets petrified, and this is the way to cure it. So I usually buy a few of these while I'm here, just to be extra safe. And then now we're going to head out to the world map, and we are ready to move on, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.